Adrian, an ERP VAR. So today I'm pretty excited. This is the first time that we've really done a presentation around our brand new Express Edition. And I know we may have some folks on the line that may have some familiarity with Anytime Collect. Figure maybe I'll spend a couple seconds here, just the front half, explaining why we introduced Express and kind of at a high level what it does. So we've had our Anytime Collect product since about 2008, and it's been through multiple iterations. It's gone from desktop to the cloud. We've moved it from being only available for one specific ERP platform to being able to integrate with just about anything on the planet. But historically, with our Anytime Collect product, it's been a solution that, to be quite honest, was more of a configurable solution. We would have to go in, consult with you, understand what your business processes were around accounts receivable, and then we would help you implement the system and set it up to do things for you and automate your accounts receivable. What we've learned through the years is that there's a lot of very similar best practices. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter what size of company you're in. There are some things that are pretty fundamental to the process. We've been able to can a lot of this and put it in as standard best practices out of the box. Now, what does that mean? That means that we're able to deliver a product that is pre-configured and able to automate a lot of the things with very little setup time. And that's what we're going to show you today with the Express Edition. Okay. So let's dig in and get started. I just have a few slides here on the front, things I like to kind of share immediately. And then we're going to spend the bulk of the time really looking at the Express Edition. So first things first, how long does it take you to get paid? Most companies, on average, are getting paid in about 61 days. You're probably thinking to yourself, you know, that doesn't sound too bad. But average payment terms are about 28 days. So it's taking you more than twice as long to get paid. We've been doing this an awful long time, and every once in a while you find a company that's doing pretty good. But for the most part, this is pretty accurate based on our experience, based on the research in the market. Companies that are implementing systems like Anytime Collect are able to get, in the first year alone, about a 10 to 20% reduction in their DSO. In plain English, that means you're getting paid about 10 to 20% faster. That's an industry stat. Our customers, based on our experience, are closer to that 20% number. So if you are at 61 days and you can get paid 20% faster, that's 12 days you're getting paid faster just by leveraging technology to do what it should do, and that's to make your lives easier, communicate with your customers, get the information that they need to pay you. So let's talk about the process that we go through with Express. This is very different with this edition. We've come up with a survey, and it's a fairly comprehensive survey that we'll send to you, and you'll complete. We ask you things like, you know, what is your remit to address? When do you want to send reminders to customers that they have invoices? When do you want to send statements to customers? What kind of template, language, or content do you want to include when you send out a past due notice? Do you want to accept online payments from your customers? All these different questions are going to be part of the survey. Should take you no more than 10 minutes to complete the survey. If you have questions, of course, you can ask us on that. We get the survey back, and we will then pre-configure the system for you. Okay. The next step in that process is to configure the data sync to your accounting system. Again, this is something you don't have to do. Our consultants do this on your behalf. So part of that survey question will be, you know, what is your ERP or your accounting system? Where's the database located? We'll need the path to that. We'll need the system administrator credentials to be able to access that data. So we set up that data sync, and that can be then set up on a scheduled basis to pull in data every hour, every day, every week, however frequently you want that to occur. Okay. A couple things here just to talk about some of the data elements that we're bringing in. We're bringing in customer accounts. We're bringing in contacts. We're bringing in invoices, payments, payment applications, and sales reps. So if you go modify a customer contact record, change an email, the next time we do the data sync, that email will be reflected within Anytime Collect. You add a new customer account, we'll sync that in the next time the data sync runs. You receive a payment, you apply that payment in the back-end accounting system. Again, we pick that up on the next data sync. Okay? And this is where the beauty of the system really occurs. Once we have the data and the system's all pre-configured, we can automate a lot of different things. Okay? What are we going to automate for you? New invoice notifications. Email, you create invoices in your accounting system, we sync them, and then a rules engine runs and sends your customers an email and says you have new invoices available to you. They click a link, they go to the portal, they can view the invoices online. They can download copies of those invoices online. Okay? And you can define the frequency around how often you want that to occur. Invoices coming due. This is something that we never do, right? Nobody in their right mind has time to remind their customers that they have invoices coming due in the next 3 or 5 days. Why? Because we're too busy. Let the system do it for you, okay? You tell us, how much before the invoice due date do you want to send the reminders out? Typically, it's going to be about 3 days, maybe 5 days, if you want to include the weekend. Email goes out, again, the same hyperlink, takes them to the portal, they can view those invoices online. Now what happens when the invoice is due? We can automate past due notices to your customers, and again, you control the language as part of the survey that we ask you. We always recommend, we have some sample templates that we provide to you that you can use or you can tweak to meet your needs. That first past due notice is going to be something pretty friendly. Value your business, just want to make you aware that one or more invoices are past due. Please click this link to access the portal to review these invoices. If payment's been received, please disregard, right? Dunning letters. Now we're getting to the point where we need to be a little more forceful. We need to let them know there might be consequences if their invoices remain unpaid. And you can have different templates related to a collection letter, okay? And we can automate those to go out in maybe 15 days past due or 30 days past due or whatever you want that time frame to be. Statements, we can send out statements. Best practice is probably every 30 days. We do have customers, since it's electronic, you might want to send it out a couple times per month. Maybe you want to send it out weekly. New customers, this is a good one. So you set up a customer, first time you bill them within your accounting system, we synchronize them in. We'll send them automatically out of the Anytime Collect system a welcome email. A welcome email could talk about your credit policies, procedures, how they can contact you, to talk about any issues that they might have. It also can explain to them that you use Anytime Collect for your collections portal, and that all they need to do is log in to be able to view their invoices online or pay their bills online. You can even include, we're working on this right now, is a video tutorial to show your customers how to use the online portal. So all that stuff just happens. It's like magic. It's beautiful. So this is what happens when your customers get these automated emails. This is just an example here. So here's your attached statement, right? We can attach a PDF copy of that statement there. You can click here to pay your account online. Boom, they click that link. It's going to take them, automatically log them into their statement online. This is the screen, kind of similar to what they're going to see. And I'll show you, we actually had a little update recently, so it looks even cleaner than this. They can see the PDF copies. They click them, it pops it up. If there's supporting documents to the invoices, that folder icon will hold those. They can look at account documents in the documents menu at the top. Select the invoices they want to pay. It's going to total them up at the top. And then they click that Make a Payment button, and it's going to pull up a secure PCI compliant payment portal form. They'll fill out their information, and they'll process that payment. It's literally that easy. So this is, up to this point, this is completely AR on autopilot. You don't have to do anything. all of this can just happen magically. But you still need to keep tabs on what's happening with your accounts, okay? There's going to be companies that no matter how much you email them, they're not going to pay you on time, okay? So you want to get some alerts sent to you internally or maybe to your controller, your CFO, or others in the organization. These are some of the alerts that we're going to be able to provide to you. These can be scheduled reports that appear in your inbox weekly, daily, monthly, whatever frequency you want. The first one is a projected cash receipt. So we have all this data and all this history from your customers, right, that we're synchronizing in from your accounting software. We're looking at that. We're saying, all right, well, customer ABC Supply always pays their invoices 10 days late. They have an invoice due today. Historically, based on their payment history, we can expect that invoice that's currently open to be paid 10 days from now. We're going to give you all of that across all of your accounts and all of your open invoices as kind of a rough cut cash forecast, okay? Communication summary. You know, the system is doing a lot of the communication for you. It's sending emails, it's sending out statements, sending out reminders. All of that is saved and logged so you know exactly what happened. We can then send you via email a summary in an Excel spreadsheet to view all of the automated communication. And we'll talk here in a little bit about how it can also include manual communication for activities you're performing in the software. Account aging, right? You know, a lot of people want to get an account aging. You can get them out of your accounting system. But, you know, just one of the alerts we can provide that to you automatically in your inbox once a week, once a month, whatever frequency you want. Prioritized actions. All right, so everything up to this point is just reporting on what has happened automatically. But what if you want to follow up on any invoice that is now 30 days past due and over $1,000 past due? You tell us what those parameters are, again, part of the survey. We will email you weekly, daily, however frequently you want, a list of the companies and or the invoices that now require your follow-up, right? We're interjecting a human being into the process now, and we're prioritizing that so that you're focusing on the top priority calls to make first and working your way down through that list. Past due accounts, just a report so you can see anyone that's past due. Customer messages. So when we're sending customers this hyperlink and they're clicking it and getting out to our customer portal, from there they can send messages to you, okay? If a customer hits the portal and they're sending me a message, it's probably pretty important, right? They could be asking a question around a freight rate, maybe they're disputing the invoice, maybe they want to process an RMA. There could be all kinds of things they want to communicate with you about. They can do this from our customer portal. It hits our database, and we send you an alert in your inbox so you receive this immediately. Unlike the other alerts that most people will schedule daily or weekly, I would set up these customer messages to be forwarded to your inbox probably every 5, 10, 15 minutes, something like that. So that way you can react to them almost in real time. And then the last one here is bounced emails. You want to know if there's contacts in your database that are not receiving your automated email communication. So this is an example of the software. Again, we're going to look at this here in a live environment. But you can see here all of our customers. You can see their aging, see their phone numbers, the contacts. You can see their balances. Pretty clean system here. And these alerts are what are going to be triggered. You know, my past due accounts, my weekly aging at the account level. I can have other alerts set up, and I certainly will at the invoice level. Communication screen, I'll go through this in a little more detail here in a second, but it's pretty easy to create a new communication to a customer. So let us take a look. And I'm going to switch over to Anytime Collect Express Edition. And for anyone that has seen the software before, you're going to notice that it looks very different. Okay, same function, but we've cleaned up the screens quite a bit. This is the new home page. So now, think for a minute. Everything has already happened. The software has already reminded my customers, sent them that first invoice, sent them a statement, maybe sent them a collection letter and a past due notice. All of that has already been done. So what do I need to do as the AR clerk? What do I need to do as the credit manager, the collector within the organization? I have certain things up here that are user actions, and then I have customer actions, okay? And again, with Express Editions, these are pre-configured and set up for you. I'm going to probably start here with my customer actions. I've got past due accounts that are more than 45 days past due. In fact, I had 42 of them. That's a problem. I come in here, click on that hyperlink, and it's going to bring me right to a prioritized list of these accounts, okay? Now, I might want to sort these. Maybe I want to sort them based on, I don't know, maybe alphabetical. Maybe I want to sort them based on the balance, which is another column out here. And see, I don't find the one company I'm looking for here. They must not be in this category, but that's all right. We're going to go ahead here and drill in on one of these customers. Say I want to start my calls with Austin Manufacturing, and I can go ahead and open up the account detail, or maybe I want to open up the account detail with a new communication to this customer. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to see here, let that load up, is the communication screen for Austin. I can see that I have, let's look for any of my open invoices for this customer. There they are. And I can go ahead now and make a phone call. So I'm going to go ahead and call my customer. And we'll go ahead and call Bo. Add Bo to the contact notes. Bo's going to pick up the call. I'm going to mark that I spoke to Bo and make some notes in here. Bo asked me to resend the invoices and promised that he would pay $2,000 by the end of the month. So send invoices and promise to pay $2K by end of month. So we can document our notes here on what we're doing. Maybe I want to go ahead and tag these to the conversation. I'm talking about these ones specifically. If they happen to have a dispute, I can select a reason code. If they're set up, I don't have any set up for this edition, just to be able to identify reasons why I might have a dispute. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to record that expected payment in the system. So he said $2,000 by the end of the month, and they're promising to pay. Now, what's really nice about this, the software is going to track this for you. So if this customer doesn't make that payment by that date, if I come up here to my little drop down on Austin Manufacturing, I can go to their history, and I can find out how many times did they have a broken promise or a dispute from 90 days out to 2 years. Now, while I'm here, I want to show you just all this information that's available to you literally at a mouse click. So I've got their average days late based on the size of the invoice, aging by due date. I can see when were they established, their currency, high balance and date, their credit terms, days past due, credit limit, available credit. Do I allow them to make online payments? You may have some customers, you may not want them to make an online payment. You can segregate them. Are they on credit hold? What was the date of the last credit review? What's their credit score? You could also set up, this is part of our configuration, up to 3 different credit bureaus if you want to track different credit scores there. General info on the account. Where are they located? Who's the sales rep? What's the company ID? Are they part of a larger organization? Who's their parent? Who's the credit rep that's managing this account? Who's the sales rep? Contacts. We're bringing these in from your accounting system. You can also add, edit, and maintain them here. Transactions. You can see all of your invoices by account, oldest down to the newest. You can also see payments. Looks like this is the first time we've ever invoiced this customer, and they have yet to pay us. If you happen to be a member of the National Association of Credit Managers, we have very tight integration to their trade credit report. If you're not a member, I highly suggest you look into doing so. and we can get you information on that. With NECM, there's a lot of benefits, but one of them is that you can get credit reports for about $14 compared to Dun & Bradstreet and some of the others. They can charge you anywhere between $20, $30 on up to $80 or $100, depending on the information you're looking for. Real big fans of NECM. Okay, so all that information here at my fingertips for this customer. I'm going to finish up this communication for Austin. Let's go ahead and do some attachments here. First, I'm going to attach those tagged invoices, make sure that they're going to receive those. There they are. Next, we have a couple reports that we can send them. I'm going to go ahead and maybe send them an open invoice report, whatever I want to attach. It's going to do a mail merge for me here automatically. First time you run, it's a little slow. I'll let that finish up. No data for my report. They just updated my database, folks, so bear with me here. We are in pre-release on this. All right. So I'm going to show you an example of what that actually did here. Let's go to Google first. Go to my Gmail account, show you an example of what the customer gets. It's over here. Oh, wrong account. So we need to log out as me, log back in as my demo guy. Thought I had that all logged in, but apparently I did not. This will work a little better. So I sent this one out earlier. This is an example of one of the automated communications that will be sent out to your customers. And again, you can kind of customize and tweak these however you see fit. And you'll see here, click here to access your account online. Now, one thing I do have to do is I have to log out. Because if I don't log out, software thinks I'm still in collection mode. I want it to know that I'm actually the customer. Customer gets that, they click the link. You're going to see across the top there, it's going to do a couple things. It's actually accessing their account, logging them in, and preparing the screen for them so that they can view their account information online. Customer comes in, I want to pay these for invoices. Maybe they want to pay another one here, override that amount if they want, make a payment. Okay, fill out the credit card information, and they're done. That payment then gets posted back into our software. We do also have another alert. I forgot to mention it earlier. All of your online payments can also be sent to you daily or weekly, and then you can either import those back into your accounting system, reconcile those, or some people just want to add them in manually. Most people are just doing an import on those. Okay. A couple other things you'll see here is to send a message. So maybe they have a question about a particular invoice. So I was talking about earlier, one of the other alerts we're sending to you. And then go ahead and communicate with you. And again, on that alert, you probably receive that in your inbox in just a few minutes. Okay. There's another option here if you really want to get crazy. You see this leave a message. This is for integration with live chat. If you want, you could have your AR person sign up for a live chat account. We can connect it to Anytime Collect. And when your customers are in the portal, they can be logged into live chat, and your customers can chat with you online. And we're actually able to store all that chat conversation back into Anytime Collect and record it as a communication against that customer account. So we're bringing everything into one place. Okay. And we'll go ahead and log out here. And we'll log back in and just show you a couple more things with the software. hopefully you guys are getting a picture here. You can do a whole lot as far as putting your AR on autopilot, and then you have the prioritized list of the activities that you need to perform. Should save you a ton of time just trying to get paid a little bit faster. Okay. Come back up here to the menu. We do have a dashboard that we provide for you. It kind of gives you some key performance indicators on things that are happening within your accounts receivable. You have your projected cash receipts here, your current aging, average days late trend across the last 6 months, and that's based on the number of days late as well as the dollars that are late. We'll give you your days sales outstanding, average days late by the size of the invoice, and this is all calculated dynamically. Cash summary, what did I receive, expect to receive last week versus this week, total amount due, amounts in dispute, and activities. And how many issues am I managing, how many phone calls did I make, how many emails did I send, how many disputes did I have, how many expected payments and broken promises. And then last but not least here on the bottom is who has my money. And it looks like the Baldwin Museum of Science is on my naughty list. A couple other things we can do here. We can go into the My Account screen, kind of get a picture of all of our customer accounts. A couple things I want to point out here are the filter capabilities. These really go across all the grids in the system. I may want to just filter this down based on accounts that have a past due balance. And I'll show you how I set that up here. What I did was I applied a filter. Okay, and you guys can do this. I'm looking for the oldest due date is greater than 0. And there's lots of different columns of data that are available to you. Let's go ahead and click on that again. Pretty much anything that's related to an account or an invoice is in here as an option. Your numerics, you can do greater than, less than, equal to, between. Your alphas, you can do contains, does not contain, begins with, ends with. So really, really flexible to build your filters. Okay. Then once you get the filter set up the way you want, you can even drag and drop these columns around. Maybe you want to see them in a different order. Maybe you want to hide columns. Once you get all of this set up into a view of the information that you really like, you go to your settings and you go ahead and save that. And that's going to appear then as a tab here at the top, so you can come back and access that view of the information very quickly and very easily. Okay. For anybody that is curious, we do support multiple languages. You can see here we have some standard views of the data. We have U.S. English, British English, Spanish, Portuguese, as well as Hebrew, which is a fun translation because that's a right to left language. We had to flip everything around on the screen. Let's see here. Other things that I want to show you guys today. One is the inquiries. You're going to be coming in here probably quite a bit. A lot of times I want to look across all of my accounts at all the invoices in the system. I go ahead and pull this view up. Depending on the amount of information, whether you're in for the first time of the day or later on in the day, a lot of this caches, so the second time around it'll be a little quicker. And the GoWebinar appears to be hanging me up slightly as well. There we go. So there are my invoices. And again, I can apply filters to these. I can sort, select, whatever I want. One other thing I didn't mention, I can do groupings. I can also export information out to Excel. So maybe you want to do some ad hoc reporting and inquiries, maybe some analysis in Excel. You can do that from any of the grids in the system. And that's kind of a high-level overview of the software. This new screen, I do want to see if I can find one more piece, and that's support. See if they have it configured for me here. Because that's always the big question, right, is how do I interact with you guys if I happen to have a problem? We have embedded product support, so you can come right into this. This is powered by Zendesk. And you can look for getting started guides. You can look for tutorial videos, information on how to use the portal. You can search our knowledge base. You can ask the community of other users. Or you can just search. You know, maybe you have a question around I don't know, let's think your email, something related to email. So we'll just look for email. What is a not filed email? How do I resend emails listed in the action menu? How to verify customers' email addresses. Email templates don't appear to be working. Once you find these, you can go to the knowledge base and see if you find the answer. Okay. If by chance you didn't, you can go ahead and support a request here. It gets assigned automatically to one of our support agents. They will then contact you if they need more information. They'll look into the issue for you. You can also go to your activities and find out any requests that you may have made, any contributions you've made to the online community, or any discussions you might happen to be following within the community as well. If a support agent is logged in, you can also chat with them live. In this case, it looks like they must be out at lunch, so you can leave them a message, and that will then get forwarded to them when they get back in, log into our live chat. Then they can communicate back and forth with you. They can do screen shares if they need to, etc. Okay. So it's kind of an overview, if you will, of the Express Edition. And I'm going to pop this up here. I want to talk about this slightly, and then we're going to turn it back over to ERP VAR so we can do some Q&A. A couple things I want to point out here is we have a lot of integrations that are available from a document management standpoint. You may have statements already out there. You don't want to recreate them. You may have supporting documents against an invoice. You may have the invoices themselves in PDF stored somewhere. We support integrations with Alltech, one of the more popular document management systems out in the market for Sage, Epicor, Microsoft, and other ERP applications. We do also integrate directly to QuickBooks online to be able to pull out invoices specifically. If you don't have a document management solution, that's okay. We have a product called Anytime Docs that we sell, a very affordable solution. And Anytime Docs allows you to print a batch of invoices out of your accounting system. It then parses that print job out, creates individual PDFs for each invoice, and then stores them on a network directory somewhere that we can sync back into our application to be able to retransmit those to the customers. If you happen to be using Sage 100, formerly Mass 90, Mass 200, we do support integration to Paperless Office, which is an embedded document management tool there. From a payment provider standpoint, again, we are in the accounts receivable management business. We're not in the payment processing business. We partner with Sage Payments for the Sage customers out there that may be using that platform. If you are not, we have a really good partner that we work with called SoluPay. They're one of the largest first data partners in the country, if not the world. And if you don't know, First Data manages about 80 to 90% of all credit card transactions in the world. So a very reputable company. They've been able to work with every single one of our customers to save them money on their credit card transaction fees. They also support ACH payments, direct bank drafts. So with that, Adrian, I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to you.
Thank you, Jim. Great presentation. We have a poll I'd like to launch here, and we do have a few questions here. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll while we're announcing the questions. And if I could just ask the audience just to take a moment to answer this one poll, that would be awesome. And let's look at the questions here. So Jim, what is entailed in implementing this solution, and how long does it take?
Yeah, and that's, Adrian, that's really why we developed the Express Edition, because we have eliminated, for the most part, the implementation. We'll send that survey form out, 10 minutes of their time to fill that out, send it back to us. Give us a day, depending on bandwidth and other projects we're working on, but about a day, we'll go ahead and set that up for them. The training, the system is incredibly intuitive, and we'll have the online tutorials available for them to learn how to use it. The implementation is basically nothing. We do all the work for them. The implementation is a fixed fee I don't have the price sheet in front of me, so don't hold me to this, but I think it's right around $500 fixed fee on the implementation cost, and that's just a one-time cost. The software itself, I know that's usually the next question, is $99 per month, which a lot of companies are spending more than that on a cell phone bill. And the one other point that I forgot to mention earlier is that this is a really good product that would be available for companies that maybe were previously using the Sage billing and payment solution that Sage recently discontinued. It's similar. There are maybe one or two things that Sage billing and payment did that we don't, but we are certainly working on those. But I think there's a lot of things that we do that Sage billing and payments didn't do. So if there's anybody online today that happens to be using that product or use that product, I think the Express Edition is probably a good alternative for you to be able to automate your AR.
And what ERP software systems does this integrate with? Is it QuickBooks, Sage 50, Sage 100? How many do you have an integration with?
That's a great question as well. So we integrate to pretty much anything out there on the market. We do build some standard interfaces that we maintain to some of the more popular accounting and ERP products. The ones that we maintain the standard interfaces for include some of the ones you mentioned, Sage 50 being Peachtree, Sage 100, Sage 300 being ACPAC, Sage 500. We also integrate with Microsoft Dynamics GP, as well as Intuit QuickBooks, both online as well as desktop. And that really spans the breadth of their product line from their light versions on up to their Enterprise Edition. In addition to that, though, we have some generic CSV flat files that allow us to integrate to other applications. We have customers using the product that are on SAP, Oracle, Macola, a variety of Infor products. So as long as you can get data out of your accounting or ERP system, we're going to be able to integrate to it to be able to pull that data into our application.
And you also have an arrangement with Epicor, correct, where you are embedded inside Epicor. Am I correct on that?
We do. Yep. Well, we have a private label relationship with Epicor, so in this case you wouldn't be buying Anytime Collect. You'd be buying what Epicor markets and sells as Epicor Cash Collect. The Express Edition isn't necessarily available for Epicor. They have an edition they sell. It's their SaaS edition that's very similar in the functionality and the scope. Pricing and packaging is a little bit different, but overall it does the same thing.
And I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. So Jim, thank you so much for your excellent presentation. This looks like a great product. And thank you, audience, for joining us today and taking time out of your busy day. It looks like we've got 20 minutes to spare. And we will definitely be in touch with you. We recorded the presentation. Everyone who registered, including the attendees, will receive a follow-up email from Adrian at erpvar.com with a link to the recording. And they will also receive Jim's contact information. In that email, there'll be a link to click to this slide. So Jim, would you like to add any closing remarks?
No, I think the only thing I'd encourage everyone to do is to take a good hard look at your process today. And, for $99 a month, give us a call. Let's talk through what you're looking to do and see if it makes sense. I think most companies do, maybe an average job of managing their accounts receivable. Let's put it on autopilot. Let's make it easy. And let's help you guys get paid faster. We spend an awful lot of time trying to build sales, trying to keep our customers happy. Let's spend a little bit of time to just try to get paid on time. I think that's really the big takeaway that I would want everybody to have from this presentation is there's a better way. There's a better way to get paid a lot faster.
And there's just 5 easy steps to getting started with the configuration survey, the system setup, the automated workflow, and then you get those alerts that you were showing us in reports, and then you get paid faster. So Thank you, everybody, again for joining us, and we will definitely get you that email and let us know if you have any questions, and everybody enjoy the rest of their day.
Excellent.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.